Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again in the kitchen today, going to have a little bit of a pre-workout meal and then go train in about an hour. And today, the pre-workout food of choice is Fruity Bits. Look at that. This is a good purple dinosaur, so it's not Barney, but it'll have to do. And you can just basically tell that these are a knockoff of Fruity Pebbles. So I'm gonna be having these. And as part of that, I know a lot of you guys knock me for my knockoff brand. So Sour Buds the other day, Fruity Bits today. You see a lot of my off-brand cereals. I get a lot of comments from people saying, you know, why do you do that? You could definitely afford to get the name brand. And honestly, I don't care. The reason being is they taste exactly the same. And this box is probably about $2 cheaper than Fruity Pebbles. And that might not seem like a lot. $2 isn't a ton. But if you figure I get at least a box of cereal a week, that's $2 a week. And there's 52 weeks in a year. You're talking over $100 extra in my pocket just from buying cereal, which in the end tastes the same anyways. And this, my friends, is why many of you still live at home. No offense. I would live at home too if I had your mom to look at every day. You know what I'm saying? All right, enough shit talking. I gotta eat this and then I'll see you guys in the car. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brandon again, inside the car, outside the gym, before going in to begin a gain. Or begin the gains. Sounds better, but it doesn't really rhyme. But I'm outside the gym doing one of these little car vlogs, and I know some people like these, some people don't, but let me kind of share with you why I like to do these. Number one, obviously, it gives me filler for my shitty little videos and my shitty little channel. Yes, I know, it's all about the filler. Just like a lot of those pre-workouts and a lot of supplements these days, consider this the filler, and there's only usually a little bit of good stuff in between. Which in my case lately hasn't even been any good stuff because my lifting has been pretty weak. As you guys know, I'm back on the grind. The redemption, the return, the beginning, whatever. A lot of these motivational titles that really get you going. And that's honestly something that's interesting for me to think about and talk about, only because I subscribe to a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of fitness related channels, I think well over 100 strictly fitness. And as part of that, I see a lot of titles, I see a lot of what people are putting out, and let me be first to admit that I have been guilty of putting up some of these titles that are motivational in nature. Now, you can also see a lot of my titles are just complete bullshit, like things about sharks and Ninja Turtles and whatever. What I really try to do is make the titles based off of what's in the video to give you guys a complete idea, rather than just say bench workout. If I show some other weird shit, I'm gonna put that in the title just so you know it's more than just bench pressing. And I think that leads to the reason why many people use a lot of these motivational titles, motivational music, things to get them amped up, because when it really boils down to it, these videos, in my opinion, and specifically mine, but maybe even some others, at least this is my general opinion, just kind of boring. It's the same thing over and over again, going in and training, and unless you're maxing out or setting PRs, it's a lot of the same stuff over and over again, and it gets kind of hard in some cases to make content and even to self-motivate yourself, strong English, to go in and do stuff and make content. Now, if you weren't filming, you probably wouldn't have to do it, but to get people excited about it, there needs to be somewhat of an edge on it, just because if you called every single clip I put up bench workout this or squat workout that, unless there's a PR or something, it just gets kind of boring, and I probably wouldn't click on it. But when I see, you know, changing the game or starting from scratch or back to the grind, I'm like, all right, this sounds pretty interesting. And again, I'm guilty of this too, but it's just so funny because when you boil it down, we're no different than you. You go to the gym, you train, you try to get better, but because we make YouTube videos, we have to put fancy thumbnails and fancy titles to draw your attention. And again, I am as guilty of this as anybody out there, but I'm just saying it's interesting enough. But anyways, back to my main point, which I don't even know if I had one. Coming into the car and doing these car vlogs helped me because I look at it almost like a confessional booth of sorts. So I can come in and just talk about what I'm feeling or what's on my mind. And even though you guys are great for a support group, you tell me, you know, you're not ugly, you're not stupid, we believe you, you do look big, you do, well, no one says anything about Cass, but as part of that, I appreciate the support, but also just because talking about something and just getting it out there, and especially put it on a public medium like YouTube, it honestly just helps me mentally. So I'm probably a little fucked up in the head if you guys haven't been able to tell already, but just talking about that helps me get it out, and then I go in and I have usually a better training session if something's really bothering me, rather than keeping it bottled in and thinking about it throughout the course of my workout. So that's the point of these videos. I will try to start getting more content. These last couple of weeks have been really tough. There's been a lot of stuff going on with me, and there's a lot of other stuff outside of YouTube, outside of my work, outside of my relationships, and just a lot of stuff seems to be kind of coming to a head. There's a sexual innuendo for you finally, I know, a couple of minutes in, but things are turning, so to say, because these things I've been working on are coming to fruition soon. You guys will see more what I'm talking about. Some of you that know me more personally already know what's going on, and it just kind of sets you guys up for something exciting. It's nothing necessarily exciting, so I'm gonna leave it there, but I'm gonna get in the gym, I'm gonna train, I'm gonna squat. My legs are actually pretty sore from my last squat workout, which was Monday, but we're gonna go ahead and do what we gotta do. Again, nothing exciting, so maybe I'll put a cheesy motivational title and some music to bring the feels. We'll see you inside. Yeah, so remember when I said it was squat and deadlift day? Well, I gone done fucked up. It in fact was a repeat of the previous workout that I already did, based around bench, and because nothing was impressive here, I decided to just group everything together. Bottom right is the heaviest set, which is 245 for 6. Now for this, I didn't realize it was bench day until I got in the gym, did my mobility routine, did my warm-up for squats, and looked at my phone to see what my first working set would be, and I realized that it was not in fact to be that day. So instead, just grouping these all together. Next, we moved on to some incline dumbbell rows. And this is one of my favorite exercises. Again, the weight on each one of these varies. The lightest is in the upper left at 80 pounds, 5-pound jumps all the way each one. So that means the bottom right is 95 pounds. These all felt very good. The rep scheme varied on these as well. Just kind of condensing it just to get to the point. You get all those views of that there booty. And also that guy wearing basically what equates to business casual. From there, moved on to overhead press. Again, the weight varies each time by roughly 10 pounds, the lightest being 95, the heaviest actually being 130, because in the bottom right, on the right-hand side, I messed up again and put more weight on the right hand than the left-hand side, but it didn't affect my actual working sets. Then finally, to finish, we moved on to 4 sets of 10 of some weighted chin-ups. Just showing you the first set here because I decided to keep the weight static in all instances. In this case too, if you remember from last video, I talked about I wasn't sure if I should just really do these for speed or make sure I had full range of motion or whatever. So in this case, I went for a full range of motion and things felt really good on my lats. And that's gonna wrap up the workout for the day. You can also see a little bit of that peener poking through. You're welcome in advance. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.